good, people?
I am the man, J
Your
Bone,
boy, me,
and we are two regular brothers.
man, just doing a podcast.
Just two regular brothers doing a podcast. I just want to give everybody some updates on the P. Diddy trial. We talked about that.
Take that. Take that.
We talked about that last time, man, and things don't look no better for P. Diddy.
Look like he on top of the stove. He cooked.
Yeah, it's actually getting worse.
Yeah, ain't looking good. Well, he dangling motherfuckers out the window like Vanilla Ice.
Yes.
He dangling motherfuckers out the window. What's that movie? The Five Heartbeats.
Yeah, the Five
My
Heartbeats.
office hours are from 9 to 5. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah, that's funny, man. That's the first thing I was gonna mention. I'm just trying to bring up the person's name, but anyway, one of the
People in the trial.
one of the victims in the trial
Victim.
testified that Sean Diddy Combs held her over the balcony for a few seconds, man, and she feared for her life. And that's at first, man. It started off kind of slow. They had Cassidy testify for the first couple of days, and his defense team, man, they did a good job of making it seem like she was collaborating and
Yeah, she kept going back.
corroborating with the sex offs.
I was just looking at the what's his name?
The freak off. I mean.
Glad TV. They had to do the Punisher on he was on that Punisher song. I wonder was he punishing Diddy too?
Yeah, and he testified that he thought it was some cuckold stuff, and Puffy would sit in the corner, man, and jack
Just
off.
wanna watch and shit.
Yeah, while they were going at it,
Boy, that's too much information.
and mentioned that they went raw.
He a warrior. Ain't nothing wrong with that now. That's just what he into. You know that?
Well, that's the difference. So, there's a difference between voyeur and cuckold. You know what I mean? Voyeur is where you like to watch sex, period. You know?
Okay.
Cuckold is where it's your woman involved. You know what I mean?
He want to see somebody slam.
Yeah, he wants to see somebody hitting his woman.
Then he want to hit her. Yeah, bitch, you fuck that nigga. You set it up. You set it up.
And see, at first, man, a lot of people were talking about how they just put him in jail for being freaky, but it's more than that, man. So he's been charged with sex trafficking, which means that he is
stealing motherfuckers.
He's forcing people to have sex
Yeah.
Against their will across state lines. So he's taking them somewhere to enforcing them to have sex. And at first, the defense team did a good job of making it seem like you were down with this. So we got text messages says that you were down with it. You say yourself, hey, I'm down with the freak offs, and they proved that she actually coordinated some of them. So at first, the defense team was doing a good job of making it seem like she was doing this, but since then, the prosecution has proven that she was forced to do it. She was scared, and she was just doing it because she was scared. Because now you got all these witnesses that testify and corroborate everything that she said.
I wonder how much one of them tapes is worth on the black market right now.
How much? What is?
How much would one of those Cassie
Tapes?
be worth on the market?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say it's gonna be worth a little bit of money.
Couple million.
Yeah, it's gonna be worth some money. And what messed Puff up is that security video that showed him dragging Cassidy.
Well, that's the one, and that's what I did see. I ain't got my glasses today, but that's what I did see. Him swinging around.
And they even got the dude who testified and supplied the tape. So they had him on. He testified that Diddy gave him $10,000.
No, 50,000 for him.
My fault. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 50,000 for him, and then 50,000 for.
Now it was a straight 50, but he broke it off and he gave he gave some money. He gave some money to somebody to help him get the tape.
Security.
Yeah, he helped the supervisor. He gave the supervisor like 30 grand or some shit.
Yeah.
And he kept like 20 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the dude who got the tape testified that Puffy called him, begged him to get the tape, and said, hey, this could end my career, man. So if you can do anything, man, get the tape, I'll take care of you. So
Man, I got you, bro.
yeah, so dude got the tape. He got that money from Puffy, And Puffy thought that was the original tape that he gave him, but he only gave him a copy. And he kept the original. And he later put the original out there.
The party is, what kind of people that Puffy got working for him? Well, he thought that he only made one copy of the tape, bro. He probably watched that over and over every night.
Well, that was the security video that he got a copy of.
Right.
Yeah, so he didn't make that one, but he got a copy of it. He thought he had the original.
And he only got the copy.
And one of the security guards who worked at the hotel was able to get the video. And he testified that, yeah, I got a copy for him. He thought it was the original, and he paid me this amount of money. And I broke some people off who helped me get the tape, and I kept the rest of the money.
That's crazy.
And he said Puffy called him on Easter a year later and was like, man, you are my angel. Thanked him for getting the tape and everything, man. And dude was like, okay, I got some business interests, man. Can you help me out? So he tried to get Puffy to help him out with some business stuff. And Puffy ignored him after that, didn't he?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna ignore you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Next time this tape come out.
Yeah. So Puffy messed up, man, and not continue to take care of this guy who gave him the tape.
That's the problem with manipulation and deceiving. You got to keep on doing whatever you're doing to keep the story going. You know
that's good shit, Mills. That is the whole problem. What happened, man? So dude was thinking, man, he only making like $16 an hour at his job. And so he was gonna take that money Puffy gave him.
Hey Puffy, I got another tape.
Yeah. So he took the money. He took the money and then was like, well, shit, Puffy might be able to help me out with this business, man. You know, and I'm trying to get up. So then he tried to holler at Puffy, and Puffy pretty much ignored him after that, man.
He wanted to start a car wash that sold tacos. You know what I mean?
Right.
Puffy like, hell no, I ain't involved in that, my brother.
So as the case goes on, man, and then the judge threatened to remove Sean Combs from the trial because he was mean mugging the jury. Puffy's overlooking the jury like, and shaking his head. He was shaking his head and so the judge seen that and was like, hey, we ain't having that shit.
They gonna put a bag on his goddamn head.
I will remove you from the courtroom today. That's what he said. The courtroom today
tampering
for attempting to interact with jurors.
That's crazy.
So just, again, he's on trial for manipulation, making people commit sex accidents.
But they got Puffy out here like a mafia don or something.
I know, and it's crazy, man, because it looked like he was.
I just know him from Shiny Suits and Nancy.
Me too, and I know him from when Suge Knight made fun of him.
Yeah.
If you want to be in all the videos,
dancing,
come join Death Row.
Come to Death Row.
But it's looking like Puff actually has some pull, man, and was actually intimidating people and had people scared in the music industry, man. People did not want to fuck with Puff.
And then it probably was because of the, with Diddy, Melvin was connected to Nicky Barnes.
Yeah, he was Nicky Barnes' driver.
It's one thing I know about them New York people, bro. They tend to.
Not Nicky Barnes. It was Frank Lucas.
No.
That was Frank Lucas.
No, you can look that up.
No, it was Frank Lucas.
His daddy was Melvin Combs. He was tied to Nicky Barnes.
No, he was tied to Frank Lucas. Yep, I just read that the other day, man. Yeah, it was Frank Lucas. He was Frank Lucas's driver.
See, they might be mistaken on that, on what you read. Because I read say Nicky Barnes. I guess they say all the motherfuckers look alike anyway. It was one of them. It was one of them. But yeah, his daddy was connected to a high-profile kingpin in New York, so that probably gave him a little pull or two.
Yeah, I guess it could have been, man. Yeah, see, Frank Lucas talks about Diddy's father.
Oh, Melvin Combs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Melvin Combs was Frank Lucas's driver. Yeah, Harlem Mobster. Yeah, so Puffy wasn't never no street dude. He really wasn't,
He was a sneaky dude.
Yeah, and he worked his way into the music industry. He started off as a.
They say he had got groomed anyway by what's the white man name?
Yeah, so in a interview, Diddy reveals his father was a big drug dealer in Harlem, which I don't know if his father was a drug dealer. So he might be hyping it up now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But anyway,
they say he snitched on somebody and got whacked or some shit like that.
Yeah, this is what Diddy he claims that his father was a drug dealer in Harlem. But legend has it that his father worked for Harlem mobster Frank Lucas on my fault and Nicky Barnes. So he worked for them both.
Yeah, okay.
So he worked for Frank Lucas.
I know I read something about him.
Yeah.
But I think his connection with Nicky Barnes is what ended up getting him killed. Is you know what I read about.
Yeah, see now I'm starting to believe that his dad was a low level dude who worked for both of these guys.
Middleman.
Yeah, and now Puffy's trying to puff him up. So this is what it says. Legend has it that his father worked for Harlem mobster Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes, but Diddy quickly corrected the reporter and the rumors. He said his father didn't work for two gangsters, but had his own crew and was a drug kingpin in his own right. So I don't believe that. I think Puff.
I ain't never heard nothing.
Yeah,
about
I think Puff is just pumping that up.
I ain't never heard nothing about it.
Yeah, so I think.
And then I seen the one where they say, you know, Puff and them wasn't no slaves.
No, it wasn't. Nope. I seen that.
Did you see that?
I actually seen that. I watched that.
Man, you don't hear no black people named Combs. I don't know no black people named Combs.
Yeah, I actually watched that documentary called Finding Your Roots.
Yeah. I forgot dude's name.
Yep. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, yeah, his family was free. They were never slaves.
They had good clothes.
Yeah, they were
good shoes.
Yeah, they had good
barrettes in their head. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't went through shit.
Yeah.
They had to struggle with it. Take that.
No, they didn't, man.
That's why they got that, you know what I mean? Take that attitude. You know what I mean? Take that.
Yeah, and Henry Louis Gates Jr. Yeah. Henry Louis Gates Jr. His documentary, Finding Your Roots. Yeah, I watched that documentary, and they did.
They say great granddaddy was one of them train drivers for one of them trolley cars. That's what I say. Yeah, well, no slavery in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his family was free. They were never slaves, according to his DNA. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting, man. Puffy is he's gonna do some time now.
Yeah, he's going to jail.
Now, supposedly,
I'm proud of you, but you going to jail.
I don't know if you've seen that they asked Trump would he
pardon.
Yeah, pardon him and commute his sentence, and he said he'll look into it. He didn't say he would. He said he would look into it.
Well, he pardoned Larry Hoover.
Yeah, we pardoned Larry Hoover. But you know his nemesis 50.
Oh yeah.
50 was like, you know what? I'm gonna holler at Trump. And I'm gonna talk him into not getting a pardon.
Then you got more money than Diddy, right?
Yeah, so he talking about talking to
Diddy's still working.
he said he gonna talk to Trump and make sure that Diddy don't get out. So
they say Puffy in there selling chicken ramen noodles and mackerel. No, I'm saying that's what they say. That's what they say.
He's selling mackerel in there.
Yeah, I don't think nobody want that.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
No, they don't.
So yeah, he gonna go for 50. Money talk, bullshit, run a marathon.
Yes, it do, man.
Gotta catch up.
And speaking of Mr. Larry Hoover, a lot of people were excited.
Yeah.
That they thought he was gonna be getting
out.
out.
I thought they had the biggest picnic in the world.
Yeah.
Man, that man ain't going no goddamn way. He gonna do right where he at. He ain't going nowhere. Now he might even get some visits and reconnect some structure.
Yeah, he might be able to do that.
He might be able to do that. But what I'm telling you is, yeah, that's far and in between because the dynamics of the gangs in Chicago are so much different from when he was ruling.
Yep, it's way different.
So you got, okay, I don't know if some of my viewers, but if they my viewers, they probably know.
They should know.
You know, you got your BDs, you got your GDs, you got your Vice Lords, you got your BPS, all well.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You got your gangs that now don't run in the rotation of where you did something to one of my guys and he was a BD or a GD, so I'm finna come and get at you. These gangs now are combined. They're not even, they cliques.
Okay.
It's hybrid gangs. So you might got BDs, GDs, Blackstones, and Vice Lords all together in one clique.
Okay. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So they going against cliques now. It ain't like it used to be. You know
So,
what I mean?
so even if he was to try to get involved in that, he would have to restructure the current structure.
Everybody's.
Okay.
He would become the imperial chief. That would mean all gangs would have to fall in line under him, man. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's the possibility of it?
Yeah, I just don't see that happening. Especially these youngins right now, you know, they don't.
And you're talking about somebody from the 1970s era.
Yeah,
you know, who still had an impact on the 80s and 90s. But after that, man, it kind of falls off.
You jive ass turkey. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up, Cat Daddy?
Cat Daddy, let me talk to you. Let me blow some wind in your ear.
Hey, check this out, young blood.
Yeah. Oh no, they ain't gonna listen to that.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, even the
they more acceptable. Hey, bitch. You know what I mean? Blow that motherfucking shit off. You know that type of shit. You know what I mean?
What the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a whole different lingo.
It's a whole different lingo now.
And how they talk to each other is completely different. So
yeah, I'm not saying that he ain't got the, fortitude to be able to do it. But what I'm saying is, you would have to send a lot of people to rehab, because a lot of people who, the hierarchy back then is strung out on drugs, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Got their own problems. So you know what I mean? It would be probably beautiful to see if he could get everybody on one accord. But
yeah,
I'm not being doubtful. I'm just saying I know how the society and the system work. That
yeah, you're being realistic.
I'm being realistic.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. Maybe it's because my dad. When my dad was locked up, man, he was
damn Black Panther though. Your daddy was a real militant.
Yeah, he was.
You understand what I'm saying?
Rest in peace, Pops.
Rest in peace.
He was actually a cellie with Jeff Ford's brother.
Right.
And Jeff Ford's brother couldn't read, so he used to read his mail.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I hear, people talking about Larry Hoover, I'm always thinking about Jeff Ford too, So like,
you got to. You can't separate the two.
Yeah, if you're gonna commute.
Yeah, my mama was actually acquainted with both.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover.
Okay.
So you know what I mean?
And they was both friends at one time, right?
Yeah.
And they just split off and did their own thing.
Well, not basically split off. It's a whole lot of into why they split off. You know what I mean? But for the most part, yeah, they was organizations was mostly together.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I'm like, they freeing commute Larry Hoover sentence, I'm like, what about Jeff Ford,
Yeah, they ain't gonna, well, see, the reason why they charged, he was the first person in America to be charged with domestic terrorism.
Terrorism, yeah, so they stuck it in him hard.
Yeah, he'll never get out. You understand what I'm saying? They trying to say that he formed a radical cult because of the religions, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's past the RICO. When you get charged with domesticated terrorism, that means you was trying to
threat to the United States, threat to the whole country.
States, so,
So
it's a whole different charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. So he won't never see the light of day.
Yeah, not like that.
Yeah, but that's all we had, people, man. Please like and subscribe to the channel.
Please.
We appreciate those who have already done so.
Bell, you know what I mean?
Right.
We got one of them yet?
Oh.
Comment or something. We might get back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We need more traffic. We'll definitely holler back at y'all.